Hi, this is Aaron Dubinsky coming to you today from the Chut Shel Chesed Yeshiva Beit Knesset in the holy city of Yerushalayim in Israel, under the direction of our beloved rabbi and spiritual guide, Rabbi Shalom Arush. May Hashem bless him always. Well, last time we talked a little bit about gratitude, and we talked a little bit about a lot of things. But I want to bring gratitude up because it's become such an important thing, and it seems to be so lacking today. You have to remember, we go way back when we were given the Torah at Mount Sinai. What did we say? We said, Naseh v'nishma. We will do, and then we'll hear. This is the ultimate gratitude. So basically, it says, I don't care what you tell me, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. Before I even know what you're going to ask me, before I even know what you're going to tell me, I'm going to commit to doing it. That's the ultimate act of gratitude. My question is, do we have that kind of gratitude today when it comes to Torah? I mean, this week we talk about Pharaoh, so it moves us back about a step and a half. And Pharaoh says, a new Pharaoh arose in Egypt who did not know Yosef. Now, there's a machlokas on this. There's a question, there's an argument about it. Does it mean literally what it says? Does it mean there was a new Pharaoh and he didn't know who Yosef was? Well, there are some of the sages who say, no, that's not what it meant. There was the same Pharaoh, but he forgot what Joseph did. He forgot the 7 years of plenty followed by the 7 years of famine that Joseph helped them and basically the whole world to overcome. Not only that, but after it was all over, pretty much the Pharaoh of Egypt owned everything, because by the end of the years of famine, he'd taken the people as slaves, he'd taken their lands, he'd taken everything. Pretty much he owned everything. He was the wealthiest individual in the entire world. What a great thing. And who did he owe it to? Yosef, the Jewish guy. The Jewish kid, 30-year-old Yosef, who interpreted the dreams for him with Hashem's help and helped him to hedge against having a problem. And he was very grateful, and he made him second in command. And Yosef lived like a king, and his family lived like kings. And the Jews were honored because their people produced this man. And then Joseph died, and his brothers died. And all the reminder that was in front of Pharaoh's face was no longer there. He forgot how good Joseph and his people had been for his kingdom. He had become the richest kingdom on the face of the earth and the most successful kingdom on the face of the earth. And he forgot. So what did he do? He taxed them heavily. He put them into slavery. He had them build pyramids, the cities of Pithom and Ramses. These are all things from Torah. We know all these things. This is what he did to these people who he was so honoring because of Yosef, who saved their country and basically saved the world. Not much gratitude in that, is there? But this gratitude is such an important thing. It comes up again and again in Torah. For example, King David had many advisors, and he had many detractors. A lot of people who hated him tried to kill him. Well, one of the people who tried to do that had taught him something. Now, he was not happy about the fact that this person would try to kill him or kill one of his generals. So he didn't do anything. Why didn't he do anything? Why did David HaMelech let this man live? Because this man taught him one thing. And to him, if you taught him one thing, he needed to be grateful to you. This was David HaMelech. This was the second king of Israel. This is a man who could have done anything, but he kept this man alive in the merit of the fact that through him, he learned something. We're all the same way. We should be doing the same thing. We should have gratitude to those who help us. Individuals, organizations, it doesn't matter. How many times do I know stories of people who were in the gutter, who were falling apart, their lives were falling apart, they had no parnasa, they had problems in their home life. They had problems with their children. And all of a sudden, through counseling and help and other things that happened, the people that they worked with, They were brought up for these things. The problem in their home was gone. The problem with Parnassa was gone. A health problem was eradicated. How many times? And how many times afterwards? 3 years later, 4 years later, 5, 6 years later, it doesn't matter how much later, they forgot. They simply forgot. And what they did is, instead of being grateful to the people who helped them, they slapped the people who helped them. Maybe not physically, but figuratively speaking, they slapped them. Is that how you thank people who've helped you? It's not how you thank people who've helped you. We talked a little bit about unity last time also. Achdut, unity. It says all of Israel has a share in the world to come. It's the first line of Pirkei Avot in Mishnah. It's the very first line. That's all of Israel. It means me, it means you, it means the guy that you know that goes to a Reformed temple, the guy you know who Chas v'Shalom goes to a Messianic temple. It means all of the Jews. The ones who vote the wrong way, the ones who vote against things that are for Jews and for Israel, they're all a part of us. And yeah, we have to help them too. We have to help them too because we have to bring them back. It says we are to be a nation of priests. Priests to who? To the rest of the world. So first, before we can do that, we have to get ourselves up. Again, like I said last time, if you can't live it, you can't give it. Because people will find you out to be a phony, which is what you are if you try to teach somebody to do something that you yourself are not doing. So it's very important that we remember gratitude. Gratitude is important. If you have no gratitude, how's your Emuna? How do you think your Emuna is? You believe in Hashem. Hashem has given us a way of living. Hashem has told us also we need to show gratitude. We need to help our fellow Jews. We need to be responsible one for the other. If you don't have gratitude, how do you have Emuna? And if you don't have Emuna, oh, my friends, I feel so bad because it gives you the life you want to live. It gives you a life of love, of joy, of fulfillment. It gives you everything you want. You don't see it from here the same way as when you start running as a runner to become a marathon runner. You don't see the 22 miles. What you see is the mile in front of you, which is so hard you can't believe you could make it. But you do, and you go further. And you go further if you want it badly enough. Same thing with what we have. It looks so far away. The happiness in the world looks so far away. But Hashem made it close. So as he said, it would not be across the sea. We can't say we can't get to it. It would not be just in Shemayim where we could say it's so high up. How could we possibly get to it? It's right here. He gave it to us in Torah. He gave it to us in Torah. And part of what he gave us is the ability to have gratitude for what is given to us. Eternal gratitude. Gratitude that lasts a lifetime. There may be somebody who taught you something 20 years ago and you still remember it. It makes you part of the person you are today. That gratitude should not end because you haven't seen them in 20 years or because something else has happened. You still have to have that gratitude. The other day I was talking to my Rav Brody, and he told me he was talking to Rav Sholem. And they were talking. And the subject came up that a lot of people seem to think they pray and they pray and they pray and they don't seem to get an answer. Well, that's not exactly right. They don't get the answer they expect. And there, by the way, are two reasons for this. You know, there's the old joke that people say, why is it that Hashem spoke with David HaMelech and he spoke with Moshe Rabbeinu, but he doesn't speak with us? And the answer is very telling. The answer is, he does speak to us. The difference is they listened. And all of us go, no, I listen. I ask the questions and I listen. What are you listening for? Are you listening for the answer? Are you listening for the answer you want? Because if you're listening for the answer you want, you may hear nothing. Because you're not listening with an open mind to the answer that you're supposed to have, the answer that Hashem has for you, the answer that He created for you before He created the dilemma that you're in right now, so He could give it to you when you ask for it. But we all of us have to be open to listening to the answer Hashem gives us, not just the answer we want to hear, but to go a step further. So they start talking. They said, people say that they don't get answers. And you know what Rav Shalom said to him? It's because they don't believe in Hashem. That's what he said. Because they don't believe in Hashem. If you don't have gratitude, how can you have Emuna? And if you don't have Emuna, how can you believe in Hashem? He's there. He's given us everything we have. I had a guy tell me the other day that Emuna follows logic. I said, no, my friend, you have this backwards. Logic ends, Emuna begins. You can't just say I have to be logical first, then I can have Emuna. The idea is, when you have no logical answer, you have to go with Emuna. How do you go with Emuna if you don't know what Hashem has told us to do and told us the life that we have to live? How can you do any of these things? They are all interconnected. Connect all the dots, and what you find is you have Torah. Torah tells us what Hashem wants of us. What Hashem wants of us is given to us through Emuna. Through Emuna we learn we have to have gratitude. They're all connected. So let's be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Let's do what we're supposed to do. Let's follow Torah. Let's believe in Hashem. Let's have Emuna. And let's have gratitude. Let's all help in the coming a Mashiach Tzidkenu in the building of the third Beit HaMikdash. Bimhei Rav Yameinu. Everybody have a great week. Be well, my friends. God bless.